HarperCollins presents The Cuckoo by Camilla Läckberg, translated by Ian Giles, read by Philip Bird. Dedication for Simon. 1. Saturday. He gazed at the photographs. He knew that Viviane was upset because he had decided they weren't going to the party, but he simply couldn't bring himself to go. Time had finally caught up with him and forced him to face the truth. Perhaps he should have done so long ago. What had happened had been like a millstone around his neck all these years. He'd been afraid of the questions, of the answers, and of everything in between. The choices he had made had shaped him as a human being, and what he now saw in the mirror was not particularly attractive. Choosing to live life with your eyes shut never was. In the end, he'd forced himself to tear the blindfold off and act based on what he saw. Slowly and carefully, one by one, he got out the framed photographs. He propped them up against the wall and counted a total of 16 pictures. They were all there. He took a few steps back and gazed at them. Then he turned towards the simpler frames he had, his placeholders. He wrote the names of every single photograph on scraps of paper in large, uneven letters before taping them to the respective frames. He didn't need the actual photographs to be able to picture them as he moved them around on the white walls of the gallery. Each photo for the upcoming exhibition was etched into his retinas, and he could quite easily summon them from memory and see them clearly. He knew that it would take many hours, probably well into the early hours, to hang the exhibition, and that he would pay the price for it in the morning. He was no longer a young man. But he also knew that at the opening in 2 days' time, he would feel lighter and freer than he had in many years. The consequences of what he had chosen to do would be dramatic, but that wasn't something that he could take into consideration. He had been far too considerate for far too many years. They had all been living in the dark shadow of their lies. Admittedly, they ran the risk of being crushed, but he still meant to reveal his truths, and theirs. He had never felt as free as he did now, carefully fixing the piece of paper with the word guilt to one of the frames. Not even death frightened him any longer. Erika Falck stretched. The warmth of the bed meant it was tempting to linger, but she'd promised to meet up with Louise Bauer for a power walk in an hour. Quite why she had done so she wasn't sure, but Louise was probably stressed about the festivities and needing to blow off some steam. "Do we really have to go tonight?" Patrik groaned beside her, covering his face with the pillow. Erika yanked it away and used it to gently pummel him. "It's going to be wonderful. Good food, some decent wine, your wife all dressed up for once." Patrik closed his eyes with a grimace. "A golden wedding anniversary, Erika. Just how festive can that be? A bunch of stuck-up guests and endlessly long speeches. You must know what kinds of people will be going." He groaned again. "We're going anyway, so you might as well bite the bullet and bring a positive attitude," said Erika. Sensing she had crossed the bounds of enthusiasm, she leaned towards Patrik's side of the bed and gently stroked his ribcage. His heart was beating so powerfully. It was hard to believe that he had ever had heart problems, even if the worry was still there. "Louise expects us to come. Anyway, I love seeing you in a suit. You're wildly handsome in them, especially that dark blue one." "Oh, give over." Patrik kissed her on the mouth, gently at first, before it turned into a deeper kiss. He pulled her very close to him, and Erika felt her body turn soft and warm throughout, like always. "The kids might come in any second," she mumbled, her mouth against his. Patrik responded by pulling the duvet over their
Sample complete. Ready to continue?